Well, hello everybody. Welcome. Hey Delina. Hi Tina. So glad to see you guys logged in and ready to go. Hopefully you have your kits ready to go as well. I oh, it's 12 noon on the dot. All right, so we'll give it a few minutes for anybody that wants to join, and just kind of chit chat a minute here. So, with the Halloween cluster book, you're going to have everything that you need in the kit. Hi, Robin. Welcome. We're going to just give it a couple minutes before we get going. So we're just going to chit chat here a minute. And hopefully you'll have your kits out ready to go. We're going to talk about a little bit of housekeeping. I'll talk to you a little bit about what's going on over in the shop. Hey, Lourdes, you're ready. Right on. I know I was getting ready this morning too. If you guys have not checked out the links in the description box, all of the vintage items that I used, I linked for you. And then over in the shop, I added several Halloween stickers, which will be great for clusters. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Monica Taylor. I'm a vintage inspired crafter. And I love to create. I started actually creating digital items just because it always hurt me. It hurt my heart when I would use my vintage items or my ephemera and then I wouldn't have them anymore. So I started creating my own, and then it kind of evolved into having a shop and then just kind of doing YouTube lives. So if you're not aware, I do also do YouTube lives on Sunday afternoons around 3 o'clock. And there I typically will create something, show a demonstration, maybe just play. I don't get a lot of time to play during the week because I do work. I have a full-time job, plus creating digital images, plus putting together classes. I'm a busy lady. So Sunday afternoon definitely is just a time to play. One thing I do ask, typically on Sunday afternoons, everybody's chit-chatting, everything's fine. We're all asking how everybody's doing. I ask that for classes, please keep it to class content. Because I would hate to lose, or I'd hate to miss any questions that you might have with regards to the project. So the time to socialize with everybody is usually on our Sunday afternoons. Hey, Keely. But during classes, I would ask that we keep our chatting once we start the class to class content. So I appreciate you guys helping me out with that. If you ordered the kit, hopefully you got my email about an hour ago, and you have your kit ready to go. You have your scissors, you have your glue. If you didn't order the kit, one thing that I did just put out in the shop for you are the actual books. So if you want to create your own clusters, you can get these books out in my shop. And you can use a lot of the techniques that we'll be doing today. I put together the ones for these are vintage catalog cards. So I put those out there, and then I also put these out there as well. So you have horizontal and you have vertical to be able to create cluster books. So I wanted to be able to offer that to those of you that did not order the kit, but certainly want to try this as well. What else? I did last minute decide to add another class. So I will not be doing a live tomorrow. Tomorrow is our sheep drive here in Reed Point. So I won't be going live tomorrow. I'll be working on something for the Halloween tag class, which I'm going to share with you in just a minute. So welcome everybody. I'm going to go ahead and transition down. And we are going to go ahead and share a couple things and we'll get started. Hey, Robin, you are welcome. Yeah, I figured after this class, people are going to love this little project. So I thought, I want to be able to offer that up for you. So, so let's transition down and we'll get started. All right. So one thing I alluded to just a minute ago is a tag class. So many of you guys have already signed up for my Christmas tag book class. It's a mouthful. And I actually found, I was only able to put together a minimal amount of kits, but when digging through my ephemera, I found 4 more of these, which is one of the pages in the kits. So I was able to put together 4 more kits. So if you haven't got your kit yet, I think there's 3 left. I think I saw someone purchase one yesterday. But if you haven't got your kit left, there's 3 left for the Christmas class. And this is going to be a fun one. I love doing books like this. Because I had so much fun doing this, I decided to do a Halloween one. Now, yeah, this looks a little bit plain, but I'm still curating it. I have 9 of these, guys. 9. So, you guys, it's going to be similar to this, but it's going to be a Halloween theme. We're going to be doing something fun. These page clusters here are going to be part of the book. Just a little sneak peek here. I will have evidence tags, toe tags. We're going to have Halloween paper I'm going to put in your kit. We're going to have Tim Holtz ephemera. So it's going to be a $35 kit, just like the Christmas one, but I'm going to do the Halloween one. So if Halloween is your jam, don't delay, because I've only got 9, guys, 9 of these. I don't have time to order more supplies for this because this was a last minute decision to do this. So I kind of had to dig into what I had. So I am giving up some of my Tim Holtz stuff to do this. So just want to let you know the kit is available for purchase out there in the shop. I don't have the class scheduled yet, but I'm going to be scheduling that this weekend. And I'll send out an email as soon as I get that scheduled. All right. The other thing I wanted to share with you guys is I just added a whole bunch of Halloween stickers to the shop. And if you're not familiar, I tend to go a little bit gruesome, macabre during the Halloween holiday season. I'm not really a cutesy type of a crafter. It's not my jam. But I've got some really great ones out there. And I've got Edgar Allan Poe. I've got some of these labels here. So I did put them towards the front of the shop. So you're going to see all sorts of items, and these are great for clusters, so that's why I wanted to share this with you. If you do end up wanting to make more cluster books and don't have lots of ephemera, these stickers are great for this as well. And then, let's see, what else? I do have a few stencils left over. This is the Alchemy stencil that is in the shop, and then I have a few of the spider webs left. So that's most of my Halloween items. I think I've got them all in the shop now. I was working on it this morning. I'm not a very good inventory keeper, so hopefully I was able to get everything listed for y'all. All right, let's get down to business. Today we're going to be creating this Halloween cluster book, and it is created using vintage catalog cards. You guys remember these, right? When we used to go to the catalog or to the library, they'd be in the catalog box, and you'd flip through them and you'd find where the book was, and then it would tell you where you could find the book, right? Y'all remember these. So these are kind of irrelevant now because everything is digital these days. So I was able to source thousands of these to be able to create these little books. A cluster, if you're not familiar of as to what a cluster is. A cluster essentially is just layers of ephemera. Now, typically when you see layers of ephemera, you'll see them on cards, right? A lot of us will do ephemera on cards and then create backgrounds and whatnot. Tim Holtz is big on that. But a cluster essentially is working with a couple of bases and then just creating items that kind of aren't symmetrical, right? They're just kind of all over the place. So that's what a cluster is, just to be able to layer and create some sort of a scene. Many of us have created clusters, and I collected an entire book, y'all, of my clusters that I make. I love making clusters, so I have lots of them. I created this little book to capture my clusters, and then I decided I wanted something to be able to showcase my clusters, and that's kind of how this book came to fruition. It is my own design, came up with it myself, and I'm here to share it with you today. All right, so when I sent out the kits, the early people didn't get the benefit of me separating out all the pages. And then I had the light bulb go off that I decided to go out and buy these little bags and separated them by pages. So for you early people that got the kit, I'm so sorry. You're going to have to separate them yourselves. But for the people that got the kit later on and going forward, you're going to have them separated out for you. Now, I will say the kit, I don't remember if I turned it back on in the shop, but the kit is available for purchase, and then you can watch the replay to recreate it. That was one of the reasons why I decided to do the Halloween class so early, because once you see the book and how fun it is to create, I think many people will want to make it. In your kit, you also got some stickers, these cute little postage stamps, and then you also got words. Now, this is what I'll say. I curate these kits completely by hand. I cut out everything. I source my ephemera. I put the kits together. But in the end, y'all, I'm human. So if when you're making a page, you find that you are missing something, just send me an email after the class and I'll make it right for you. I can't do anything on or during the class, so no need to put it in the comment and show everybody what an idiot I am if I forgot something. So just send me an email and I'll make it right for you. I did my best to make sure that these were curated and completed, so I think for the most part you'll be pretty good. But there's a lot of items in these kits, guys, so just be kind. That's all I ask. All right, so is everybody ready? Y'all give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go. Now remember, this is on YouTube Live, so I appreciate any thumbs up that you want to give me. If you have questions on the class, certainly... Can you all hear me? I want to make sure everybody can hear me and I'm good to go. I didn't ask that. So if somebody can just give me a thumbs up, let me know that you can hear me, you can see me. That typically is the first thing that I ask. If you all can just confirm that, I'd appreciate that. Ready to go. Awesome. Yes, here. Perfect. Thank you. I'd hate to be talking this whole time and you all can't hear me. All right, so let's get going. So the first thing you want to do, of course, is you want to have your catalog cards ready to go, right? Now, you're going to find in your book, these catalog cards do get cut, so you're going to have, I'll give you the measurements of what to cut, but your clusters will hang over the side, so that way you can see the layers on the side, and then, of course, you have some of the layers coming off the top, which is what makes it really, really fun, in my opinion, I guess. So, I will kind of give you the measurements of where you need to cut, where you need to line up to make sure that your cluster book folds and lines up nicely. Now, the nice thing about this book, I made this my first page and I made this my last page because this was my longest page. But because the structure of the book, you can make any page your first page. So if you prefer this to be your first page in your book, you can. Just the way that the book is laid out, any of these pages can be your first page. So you're going to find some of the pages in the middle maybe a little bit shorter. You might think, well, why didn't you layer them out? But it was intentional because I wanted it maybe shorter and taller. So if I kind of layered it out, your book might have been, you know, this big. So keep that in mind. This is your book. You can create it however you want. I'm here to give you inspiration, to give you ideas and answer questions. So let's get going. Enough of me talking. All right, so our first page is going to be this witch's ball. So let's go ahead and pull those items out. And we'll talk about what is in this on this page. So, like I said, your clusters typically will have a base, and most of your bases are 3x2. That's kind of typically what I used for this book. But if you want your clusters to be different, like for instance, this page here, I used a stamp, so it's not quite 3x2, but it fit the little doll perfectly. But for the most part, your base is 3x2. All right, and this is what creates the foundation for your layer. Now, there's a couple, typically when you're making a layer, or a cluster I should say, you're not putting it on a book, right? We're just kind of putting it together, and we're adding our excuse me, we're adding our items, and you know, we're gluing them down, and then we're good to go, and then there's our cluster. But then I had the idea to showcase them on the book, so that's what we're doing. So since we know we're going to put these on a book, y'all, let's go ahead and use this as our foundation rather than putting them together separately and then gluing them on. And then this way we can judge the length of our page a little bit more. All right, so you're going to need your 2 spider backgrounds, and then just 3 ephemera pieces. You've got the October 31st, you've got the witch on the broom, and then you got the witch ball ticket. So hopefully y'all will find those in your kits and pull those out, because that's what we're going to work with. All right, so your first page is about, I want to say, a little over 4 inches. So what I would say is, if you have a ruler, I would definitely get a ruler and a pencil. A pen isn't as forgiving as a pencil, as we all know that. But what I would say is, if you can just maybe put a little tick mark around the 4-inch mark, you know, somewhere right here, because that will kind of tell you that's where you're going to cut. And we'll do that in just a minute. So for your layer, you're going to have 2 pieces here. You're going to have one, and we're leaving part of the catalog card book showing. So I happen to have a line here, which is perfect for me. So I'm going to go ahead and, let me see here. This is my longer one. And I want this to, let's see if we can cut part of this off first. All right, so this tells me where I'm going to cut. And if you have any questions, everybody, just feel free to ask them. This is a very non-judgmental group. So if you have questions, please ask. Do not be shy. All right, so I went ahead and cut that. If you are concerned about it being completely straight, you can use your paper trimmer if you'd like. Whatever's good for you. Now, I tend to be into this corner cutter. It's just me. I love this thing. If you don't have this, you can easily just snip your corners or not do it at all. But the reason I do that is because you'll find most of these layers have the corners like that. Another thing I tend to love doing is my walnut stain. And I don't like necessarily white showing on the edges. Okay, so how large is the spider on the spider? How large is the spider web with the spiders on it? Well, let's see, 3 by 2 is that one. and this one was 2 by 3.5. So the larger one is going to be your foundation, your base, and that's the one that's going to butt up right against the edge here. And if you want to, of course, you can add the walnut stain to your pages. I would recommend doing it before rather than after, because once you start adding your layers, it might be hard to add the walnut stain. Delina, if you have a large square paste, what I would do, cut off your image and then butt it up against the edge, and if it works, I would go with it. I think there's another page, let's see, that has spiders. Let me look real quick. Yeah, this one has spiders as well. It's 3 by 2.5. And then that's the only other spider page. So if you want to cut this down, you certainly can. It is 3.5 by 2, which what I'm doing, and I'm going to put this right up against the edge. This is where this is going to go. All right, and then your other piece. And keep in mind, if your pages aren't exactly the same size, this is a cluster, so you can make it work. So if it's square versus rectangular, then just go with it. Just make it work. So this is what your layout's going to be, is something like this. Your piece is going to come off the top. It can come off as much as you want or as little as you want. So keep that in mind. And then that's your basic layout right there. And then from there, we're going to add our images. So is everybody good so far? I'm going to start gluing down my first page. After I add my walnut stain. And then we shall see what we can do here. Now, a lot of your foundations have two sides. So if you like one side better than the other, go for it. It's your cluster book. You do whatever you want to mimic Tim Holt. You do you. You do what you like. I'm here for inspiration. And ooh, I like how Poe shows through. And that's what my job is here today. Now, when you are having some of your pieces off the edge, keep that in mind when you add your glue. Ooh, I like that. Look at that. It's a little, I don't know, like the white and the black, but that would be a fun one to switch over. So you don't necessarily, if you know that it's going to be hanging off the edge, don't put glue all the way at the top. Otherwise, it's going to be sticking to your desk. So, let's see here. We're going to do this. And I put the glue right about where my cuts are before I moved it. All right. And I am using my 3-in-1 beacon. This glue I love because it gives me movement time. And if I need to adjust things, I can, which is awesome. All right. Now with layers, you guys, remember, you want to put the bottom layers first and then work up. So lay it down first and then glue. Your 31, your October 31st is going to be the bottom layer. Your second layer is going to be your ticket, right? And these you don't necessarily want off the edge. I would kind of keep this on the edge here. And I am doing it a little bit wonky. If you want to go straight up, you can. But I like the wonkiness of it. Wonky, that's a fun word, isn't it? And then your witch is going to go right on top. So now that you have the general foundation, when you go to glue and you go to layer, be aware of what you're covering. I mean, I would hate to cover this witch's ball because I think that's a fun ticket. You know, I want my October 31st for the most part to show. So I'm going to be careful with that. And a lot of times when I'm doing ephemera, I don't go all the way to the edge. I just kind of go in the middle. So that way, if I decide at the end of the day, I want to stick something underneath, I still have some room to do that. I know we're not doing it with this one, but just as a general rule, when you are playing with ephemera, you know, try to keep it where you're lost my thread there. Try to keep it where you can, you know, put some things underneath if that's what you want to do. Okay. How's everybody doing out there? Good, I hope. All right, so there's my witch's ball. And then just kind of just see how I have that movement with my wet glue, which is really nice. Now, before we add our witch, you did get in your kit some words, right? And the word I used on this one is brewed under the full moon. I gave you a whole sheet, so you can use whichever sentiment y'all want. Okay, I'm going to kind of stick to my original theme here. But you can use any sentiment that you want. Okay. All right. I'm going to show you a little trick here. So these were inspired by the Tim Holtz chipboards. I don't know if y'all remember those. I loved them, and then they went away. And then he started putting a few in his ephemera packs. But I liked them so much, I created my own. And I just used the back of cereal boxes or pasta boxes. Just, you know, stuff like that. Because I want it to be a little bit more stable. And then when I print these, they just print better on thinner paper, I have found. So we're going to let that sit a minute, and then we're going to cut it. And it is going to go underneath my witch. That's why I'm kind of waiting here a minute. So it's going to go down here. So while I let this dry a minute, does anybody have any questions on the first page? The first page is very simple to create, y'all. Not hard at all. It's just basically layering. I'm going to give it a minute, see if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns. All right. Everybody seems to be good. Is everybody so enthralled that you're not going to ask a question, or you just got it? You just know what's going on. I used to do the classes where you would be on screen, and then my website changed their format, which irritated me. So now I do the lives now, but this is nice because then anybody can watch the replay. The benefit about signing up for the class is if you sign up, I do send you a freebie. Hopefully you all got your freebie with my mailer, my emailer. All right, so once I cut it out, now you see how it has a little bit more stability, right? And I'm just adding some walnut stain here. If I wanted to get messy, I would add my distress crayon. Thank you, Lourdes. But I don't want to get my fingers all messy on my book, but this is what I would use as well. I keep this on my desk. I'm telling you, I wasn't lying when I said this was one of my go-tos. And it is next to my walnut stain now. It stays right on my desk. All right, so Robin, I'm sorry to hear about your hands, but you can definitely watch the replay. All right, so let's just trim this just a bit. And you should have plenty of room on the edges. All right, so let's go ahead and glue this down. I would cut it to where it fits the page. That's essentially what you're doing, is you're making it fit the page. All right. And then I'm going to take my glue again. I did not glue this down yet. Okay, did you pull the back of the sticker? Did you pull the back off the sticker? Which sticker? If you're talking about the paper, I did not print mine on sticker paper. I might have printed some of yours on sticker paper. I can't remember. But I just cut it and glued it onto cardboard. And then I'm going to add this to the bottom, right? Just like that. If you're talking about, I don't know what you're talking about as far as the stickers. So, number 31. Okay, yes. If it's a sticker, I didn't think it was a sticker, Melody, to be honest with you. But if it's a sticker, you don't have, you can pull it off if you want to be placement, or you can just add glue. Completely up to you how you want to do it. But either way, either add glue or pull the sticker off. Mine aren't stickers, mine are just paper. So I'm adding glue. It's really dark on the spider web. Okay. All right, and then there's the first page. All right, so let's move on to page 2. Page 2 is a little shorter than page 1, but by just, I don't know, just a tad, not much at all. So what I would say is, let's go ahead and get out our book. And this is the next page we're going to do. All right. So find your page. Let's see here. This is this one right here. All right, so this is your skeleton on top of the books. And this one has some small pieces, y'all, so be careful when you're pulling it out. So you're going to have the little crystal ball here, and you're going to have these little cutouts that are pretty small, so just kind of be aware of that. All right, so this library card is about, I said most of them are 2 inches, so about 2 1/4, something like that. You got a full one, so you're going to need to cut this down to about, I don't know, about 2 1/4, something like that. All right, and then you can save this for another day. Okay. Now again, I'm getting out my corner chomper because I love this thing. And then I'm going to add my walnut stain. Okay. And then you're going to have this. Now, this is shiny. It has words. I intentionally cut these so some of the word would show. If it doesn't show, you know, no big deal. No big deal, y'all. But if you can get the word to show, that's a bonus. Getting rid of the white space here. Okay. And then we're going to go on to our page placement. So this is going to go sideways because we want part of the word to show. So kind of keep that in mind, okay? Your page is going to be trimmed. And like I said, it's a little bit shorter than the first page. Not much. So if you got your ruler, I would just pull it in, you know, just a tad and do a cut. Not very much. Not a lot at all. Okay. I like the ruler because it gives me some semblance of cutting a straight line. May not be completely straight, but I'm okay with that. If you need to get out your paper trimmer, again, do what makes you happy. All right. Let's add our walnut stain or whatever distress medium color you enjoy. Walnut stain is my go-to, so that's what I'm using. All right. Now we can start to put this together. I'm not going to need that. So I want, this hangs off a little bit, this little tag. So keep that in mind when you're doing your paper. So this edge here needs to come pretty much close to the edge. Okay, I'd say probably about right there because you're going to have spooky vibes. Let's go ahead and cut that out. Spooky vibes. Let's see. There it is, right there. I guess I could be trick or treat, spooky and scared, mysterious and magical. You can use whatever you want. I'm just keeping to what I did originally. These are some great words though, you guys. Fun, fun, fun. Well, let's just cut this all the way through. What do you guys think of these little word sheets? Fun, huh? Spooky. All right, so spooky vibes. We're going to do it right here. And I'm going to be smart this time and glue this down first to give it a chance to dry. Now again, you don't have to add these to cardboard. I just like the stability of them. That's why I do it. You made them into stickers? Yes. Good call, Lourdes. All right. All right, we're going to let that dry a minute there while we place this. So we know this is going to be close to the edge, right? But remember, this goes underneath. So kind of be strategic about it. You can figure out, I might be able to, no, I don't think I'm going to. We'll just keep the trick. So I'm not going to be able to show the whole trick or treat. So I'm just going to keep, the trick showing here. So let's place this. Let's see, just like that. All right, and then we're gonna flip it over and add the rest of our glue. Melody, you're fine. If you're still on your first page, you can always skip pages and then come back and watch the replay. It's about having fun, not about rushing. So don't feel like you have to rush. I don't want to rush you. But yeah, just go at your pace. That's why the recording will be out there. All right, so here's your base, right? So we cut off a little bit. Your author tag is going to be close to the edge, but not completely to the edge. And then if you have a word, make sure that you're strategic about how you place your white card over your black card, okay? Now, once you have that down, then we can go ahead and do our we can do our word. So let's cut this. And then we'll add. You can never keep up. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, you know, just do a page, and then if you, you know, you get too far behind, just skip a page if you need to. But certainly you're welcome to watch. Absolutely. All right. So my spooky vibe is cut down. This is going to hang over just a bit, guys. So remember, when you do your glue, don't go crazy and put it all over. Just leave some off of the edge, or else you're going to have a gluey mess to deal with. So we're going to just kind of have this off the edge a little bit. And we're going to give it a minute. We're going to give it a minute to dry. See, just like that. And see, some of the glue is seeping through. So just kind of be aware of that. Now, one thing that I did on this one is I just love the way that these corners are, is I cut a little bit off. I probably want to do that ahead of time, but if you don't, not a big deal. Let's see if I can do this here. Oh, that was too much. All right, and darn it. That's okay. Did you see what I just did? So if you're freehanding it, be careful. All right. That's how mine's going to be. Be careful if you're freehanding it. Okay. So now that you've got your spooky vibes, you're going to want to start your layering. So again, look at how you're layering. You've got your crystal ball, and then you've got your image. These are off to the side, so you don't have to worry about layering on that. So let's pull out our small, tiny pieces here. Monica, what were you thinking? Obviously, that you were thinking that we all have good eyes. And let's, oh man. This is a small piece, guys, y'all. So be careful when you drop your stuff out. Don't get all willy-nilly throwing things all over the place, because you're going to lose things. So be careful. That's what I've got to say. Now, for these little pieces, I tend to put my glue first, because there's no way I'm going to get glue onto this little piece. If you have tweezers, by all means, pull out the tweezers. But this is essentially where this piece goes. It's a small one, I know. I think what I ended up doing on some of the later kits is putting it together for you, because I thought, you know, why am I torturing people with these small pieces? I just have ended on time. But yeah, that's where that piece goes. And then we'll put our little stars aside. And then this is going to go, I don't know, just off to the side a bit. You know, if you want to kind of take a measurement, you know, if you want it to kind of go under, just kind of, you know, just kind of eyeball it, I guess, is the best thing I can say. It's not brain surgery if it's not exactly under. No one's going to come back and fire you, so you know, just have fun, you guys. Don't take it too seriously. I know some people take crafting way too seriously. But remember, the idea is to have fun. It's very relaxing, at least for me. So I just do it just because I enjoy making. We are not professional craft makers. At least I'm not. So don't feel like your makes have to be perfect. Although some of y'all out there make some pretty amazing makes. So, okay. This is going to go, if it's right there. See, my hands were a little bit dirty and grungy, so this got a little grungy. I'm not overly concerned about it. I don't care. So I'm just going to go with it. All right. So let's do, what do you guys think of this crystal ball? It's from a very old Tim Holtz kit. And that's why I like to curate these kits, you guys, because some of these old, I've been a Tim Holtz fan for many, many years. And I've collected a lot of his dies and ephemera and whatnot. So the idea around these clusters was to be able to share some of my dies. So that's where this came from. I hope you guys enjoy them. I hope you guys enjoy some of these dies that we haven't seen in a while. I didn't want them all to be printouts. I wanted some of them to be dies. And that's why the kit took me a little bit of time to put together. Because like I said, I curated them all by hand. All right. There we go. So this is your layout, you guys. You've got your two pieces. You've got your crystal ball. And then you've got your skeleton with his books. Now, the last thing we're going to do for this page is, well, first of all, we're going to fix the fact that my first page came out. I thought how dare it? Must not have squeezed it hard enough when I made my book. No big deal, right? All right. Stay in place. Okay, now we're going to use our little stars. Now, these stars, you can place them wherever you want, you guys. This is your project, okay? So if you want to put some stars over here, put them over there. You know, put them, if you want to put a star inside the crystal ball, I guess you could do that, right? Why not? The one thing I won't do, though, I'll be strategic, is I want my trick to show. So I won't put a star over the word because I want that to show through. I'm going to give that a minute to dry. I only use 3 stars here, but I think your kit has more than 3 stars, maybe. So use as many as you'd like. So as I finish up page 2, does anybody have any questions about anything? About page 1, about page 2? Anything at all? Put a smaller one. I might use all of these, actually. Let's see. So, I mean, I might as well, right? Put... tweezers would be good right now. Oops. And then I've got 2 more. Let's put... let's see, should I put more? I mean, I have room over here. Maybe I'll put one down here. Thanks, Robin. We'll put this one down here. Right, just because I have some extra, we might as well use them. Because they will get lost if I don't use them. That's for sure. And then we'll put this little one right here. It's so small. We'll put this little one right here. Just because we can. Got glue remnants here. All right. I got a glue booger going on here. Hold on a second. There we go. All right. Put that in there so my glue doesn't dry out. Okay, so there's page 2, you guys. So now you can kind of see how the layers are coming into play, right? So this was your first page. And now that this one is a little longer, not quite as short, you can kind of see the background. So when it's closed, this background kind of looks like it's part of the first page. So that's what's really fun about these layers. All right, so I'm going to go on to page 3. And here we go. Okay, so this is one of my favorite pages, you guys. This has authentic vintage pharmacy labels. Really fun. I have those in the shop, you guys, if you want to get extras. Again, I linked some of the vintage items in the description box. So if you have to have them, you can find them. Where are my people? Now, I did check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there he is. Whew. I was getting a little nervous. I thought, okay, I know I checked all my pages before I started the camera. All right, so page 3, you guys, is a little bit shorter. All right, let me show you, or tell you, I should say, how long this is. So this page is, it is, oh gosh, I want to give you a good measurement here. It is 3 3/4. All right, so again, get your ruler, get your pencil. 3 3/4 is about right here. All right, so I'm not going to cut it yet, but that's about where it's going to get cut. Okay, so let me just see if I can draw a line here. We'll just draw a line. That's about where it's going to be, 3 3/4. Okay, let's pull this down a little bit more. There we go. All right, 3 3/4. So let's see what we have in our little bag of goodies. This is page 3. And we should have 2 backings, right? So you're going to have black, and you're going to have the spiders. This is going to go like this and like this. So I think I'm going to have it go. This is why we haven't cut it yet, because we might have to fudge it a bit. I think I want to go a little bit over. So it might be a little bit, but that's about how it's going to look. We're going to do a layout here first before we cut and glue anything. We've got a vintage pharmacy label there. We've got the spider going on here. So that's this piece here, you guys. So if you want to cut out, these should be stickers, and they're clear stickers, right? So keep that in mind. I'm kind of jiggerying it a little bit. All right, so here is your sticker. If you don't like that white showing, again, you can add some ink to your sticker. No problem, right? All right, so this is going to go underneath here. So I'm just kind of doing the layout first. We've got this that's going to come here. Okay. So y'all with me? You following along? This will go here, right? And then this is going to go here. And then we got this little guy here with another sticker. And then we got the people. Okay, so now that we have our layout, we can kind of figure out what we want to do first. So I think the first thing I want to do is I'm going to add my tab. So let's do that. Is everybody doing good? I know there's not a lot of comments, so hopefully you all are doing good. If you're enjoying the class, I would love to hear from you. Feedback is always good for me. It makes me feel like y'all are enjoying this, which I hope you are. Okay, so, whoops, First of all, let's glue it the right way. This is going to go a long ways. Hopefully I caught you before you glued yours. Whew. We're going to cover that with a label, so I'm not too worried about that. But oh my goodness. Okay. Too funny. I want it this way. Okay, so there is the first thing we're doing. That glue will come off. I'm not worried about that. And then what else do we have going here? So we want to glue this down. So let's do that. Robin, thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoy the classes. I enjoy making with you. So let's do this. Let's do that. Right? We're going to work from the bottom up. That's what we're doing when we're layering. We're working from the bottom up. Let's see. So the next thing we want to do is probably add this sticker, right? So we'll do it. I don't know, we'll do something like that, I guess. Now, some of you guys might cringe when you have to cover things, but what I'm going to say is, again, be strategic. If there's something that you absolutely don't want to cover, then just be strategic about it. Okay, so that's going to go there. I mean, part of layering is, and I've said this before, is the end result. It's not necessarily, you know, what you're doing all along. All right, so we decided this is going to be like that, I think, right? So before we glue this down, we probably want to cut this. So I think we're good. So I know we made a line from the edge. We made a line at 1.5 inches, but I'm actually going to cut it a little bit farther out. For this one, I think I'm gonna try to do it even. So there's the line, right? I'm gonna do it a little bit farther out. Save these because they can be used for future clusters. Don't throw away any scraps. So, oh, I'm so happy, Keely. Thank you. I love it when new people find our class. We're a very fun group, especially on our Sunday afternoon crafting. I hope you join us then as well. All right, so now that I've cut my page, I'm going to add my walnut stain. If you had put a pencil mark, don't worry about it. We're going to cover that. So no big deal. And that's why we use pencil anyway. So if we do have a mark that we need to remove, we can certainly do that. All right, so let's begin our layering. We know this is going to go here. So you can kind of line this up. Your tab is going to go over. So if you look at the back, the block is lined up, the tab is over. So that's where you're going to start. Let's start there. Again, just adding your glue. And let's see here. Just like that. Okay. And then from there we can add our second piece, right? You can go over as much or as little as you want. Keep in mind we are going to put... did I lose the sticker? At all. There it is. We're going to put this here. So I guess we could do that right now. Since we know that these two are going to go here. Let's go ahead and do this one. Be aware of your layers. Don't cover something you don't want to cover. The punch, Keely, is let me share that with you. I believe I got it on Amazon. 3-way corner punch. So yeah, you should be able to find it on Amazon. If not, I will link it in the description box once we are finished. I love it. It's one of my favorite punches. Okay, so just kind of looking at what I'm doing here. This actually needs to go underneath. So again, pay attention to your layers. Don't cover. I'm not going to cover my pharmacy layer, stickers. They're actual vintage, and I'm just not going to do it. But be aware. See, I glued this down, but if you use my advice and not put the glue all the way to the edge, so this is going to go here. And again, I put too much glue, so just be aware if it's hanging off the edge. Be aware of your glue situation. All right, so I think I caught all my layers here. This is going to go here. So just kind of looking. Do I want that to go a little bit underneath? I can, right? Really depends on where your characters are going to go. You want to make sure you have enough room. You don't want to cover up your fun pharmacy labels, so just be aware of that. All right. Let's add our walnut stain. Oh, you're welcome, Keely. My pleasure. Yeah, I use that corner punch a lot. It's become one of my go-to items for sure. I'm gonna stick that underneath. And again, pay attention to your glue. Don't put it if you're having it on the edge like I just did. Okay. So there's your foundation. Pretty good, right? So you've got your two pieces. You've got your tab. We're going to put a word on there in a minute. You got this round piece. You got your pharmacy labels. Ooh. Should be pretty good to go here. All right, so what do we have left? We have this. Let's go ahead and stick this one down. Your notice. Just love these labels. And we'll put that right there, I guess. Okay. And then, as you can see, I have a sticker here. I use the Poison sticker. You can use whatever you want, you guys. Now, what I think I did is I just put the sticker all the way down, but I'm going to actually fussy cut it. Which is easy. It's not too terrible. Some of you might be thinking, oh my goodness, Monica, why? Why are you putting me through this? It's not that bad, you guys. We all have done a little fussy cutting in our lives, I'm sure. Alright. Alright, so now I have this cute little poison bottle that I'm going to stick right here. And it is a sticker, and it's a see-through sticker, so that's fun. We're going to just put it right there. Isn't that cute? Look how cute that is, you guys. Fantastic. All right, now the last thing we have to do is just to add our little characters. Now, if you're familiar with me, many of you are, you know I love paper dolls. So of course I had to add paper dolls into our cluster book. It wouldn't be a Monica project without having our little paper dolls, you guys. All right. So there we go. Again, the heads are going to be off of the edge, so I did not put glue on the heads. Do not put glue on the heads. And I want my poison label to show. So let's just kind of adjust that a bit. And there you go. We're going to actually put a word here. So This is one of my favorite pages, you guys. What do you think of that? That's really cute, don't you think? Let's find a word. Let's see. Fright night. Something, probably just one. Let's see. Scary. Could be scary, I guess, right? What else do I have here? Spooky, creepy. Boo. Ooh. Trick or treat will not fit. So I think we'll just do scary. Yeah, let's just do, ooh, elixirs maybe? Let's do elixirs. Ooh, that's good. That's a good one. And it's small. I don't even think I need to back this on the cardboard because I have that tab right there. All right. Now remember, if you are watching this on the replay and you want this kit, you can go to my shop and order it. These were, like I said, curated by hand using my own supplies. So I have several kits still available that I can put together. So, yeah. If you were a foolish mortal and did not buy your kit ahead of time and you want it, never fear, you can still get one. I should have had some Halloween music on, you guys. All right. Ooh, that looks good. So elixirs. So this is what I'd say. Is it probably needs to be a one-word tab. We're gonna. That wasn't smart. We're gonna cut this a little bit more. Just because I want it to fit on the tab. Let's see, just like that, I guess, right? Something like that. All right, just put in a little bit more walnut stain on that. All right, so there is. Put my little pin back in my glue so it doesn't dry. This stuff, Barely Art Precision Craft Glue, a little pricey, but I really love it for my thinner items. It works well. Alright, so there it is, guys. There's page number 3. So again, closing your book. This particular one, you can see the tops of the heads, but it's shorter. Now, when you're making this, if you haven't done page 3, if you want your children to pop up a little higher, you know, put them higher. Put them a little higher. Let's see if I can even move this up a little bit. Oh, I still can't. Look at that. That is why I love my 3-in-1 beacon. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, this keeps coming out. I need to squish this a little bit more. I have a tool, a machine, that crimps these. So I'm going to have to crimp this a little bit more, I think. Let's see if I can just push this a little bit more. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so I actually pushed my paper dolls up, and now the dolls' faces are showing. Pretty clever, huh? I love it. So fun. All right, guys, that's page 3. We are moving along. I hope everybody is having a good time. And I'm going to pause for a minute here to see if anybody has any questions about what we've done so far, and then we're going to move on to page 4. So but then, and you're getting the idea of the layering, right? So we've done 3 pages. Page 2 shows through, and now page 3 shows through. If they keep coming off, Delina, just push your where the round part is. just push it a little bit more. It's open, you've got an edge, so just close it up a bit, and then they won't come out. When I crimped it, I didn't crimp it all the way, but you can do it with your fingers. Not a big deal at all. All right. So there is page 3. And let's move to page 4. Love it. Okay, page 4. Page 4 is the pumpkin. So let's see if we can find that. All right, this is a fun one too. So the pumpkin actually has some vintage items. This is a State of Ohio prepaid sales tax consumer receipt. This was what the tax board, I believe, used for vendors to pay taxes. Let's see here. Okay, so if you have a cinch, put the opening between the last page and the back cover. That okay, all right. Good idea, Ivy. Thank you. Okay, so this is a vendor tax coupon. All right, and then I have again your base. Pumpkin. I put my pumpkin ahead of time. I can't remember, and the kids, if I made them for you or not, but if you didn't, you'll have to put your pumpkin together. You'll have a vintage Admit 1 ticket. You have this cat. Love this cat. Fun cat. Look at that. And then we have a vintage postage stamp. It even has the cancellation marks on it. All right, guys, so let's look at what we're doing here. So, first of all, let's get the size of our page. Our page is, gosh, it's about 3.5. Okay, so let's figure out 3.5. We'll put a little mark. 3.5. A quarter. There's my half right there. Okay, and then we'll put, so going from the other side, you can see that it is 1 and not quite 1 3/4, but between the half and the 3/4 is where it is. But if you're measuring it from the left side, it's 3.5. All right, and then I'm going to again use my ruler to just put my eyeball line. That's what I'm calling it, my eyeball line. My eyeball line. Okay, very lightly, just so we kind of have a reference place. I'm so glad you joined us, Ivy. Thank you. All right, so we've got our base. So here again, this is 2x3 with the little corners clipped with my handy dandy 3-way corner punch. And then this is gonna go about here, right? Let's kind of do our placement first, like we've been doing. We've got some layering going on. So some of my images that we use here, guys, are from my shop, and I have a membership which is called the Backstage Pass. Now, I know Robin, Lourdes, some of you guys are members. If you want to kind of just talk about the Backstage Pass and give your thoughts on it, it is a yearly membership where you have access to all of my digital images in the shop. We play with them, so when I'm doing tutorials, a lot of times I'll reference a kit. And so this is perforated, so this comes off. So you're going to want to tear that apart. But yeah, if you guys, anybody that's a Backstage Pass holder, if you want to give a little testimonial, that would be awesome. But I do have a special going on for new members right now. If you want to become a Backstage Pass member, I'm offering 10% off over Memorial Day weekend. You're going to have a coupon code in the description box. So definitely check that out. I'd love to have you as a member. And then you can enjoy all of the perks. All right, so I think that line's going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and chip that. Yeah, the membership is an annual membership, and then you'll get a coupon code where you can download any and all of the digital images in the shop, which is quite a deal actually, because there's a lot in there. I do put new ones every month. And yeah, I'm going to have that coupon available through Memorial Day weekend. And it's very easy to use with the coupon. So yeah, I hope you guys check it out. If you are a digital, if you like printables and digitals, it's definitely worth your money. And then you become part of our group, which is fun. It's a really fun group. I mean, the group has a lot of fun chit-chatting and get together on Sundays. It's pretty fun. All right, jack-o'-lanterns is what we're doing next here. So I'm looking at my pages to find jack-o'-lantern. What if that was somebody's name? Hi, Jack. Hey, Mr. O'Lantern. Oh, ridiculous. All right. Oh, there it is. Mr. Jack O'Lantern. Okay, so this is going to go on top of here. So again, I probably will not add the base that I did on the other ones. It's because I just don't think we need to. Let's see. All right, so I just cut that out, and this is going to go right here. And I'm going to cut this. Yeah, it's a little bit longer, but I'm gonna trim it down in just a minute here. So let's go ahead and glue this. The first thing we're going to do is glue this down. And I'm gluing it to attempt to have the words not come off the edge here. So that will work. And let's see. I might just cut a little bit off here. I think that looks good. All right. And then if you have a little bit hanging off the edge like this one here, just trim it up a bit. All right, so there's our jack-o'-lanterns. That's going to go right there. It is going to be off of the top. Now, one thing, if you've noticed, like I said, we've been doing layers. So as you make your layers, if you want part of your page to show, this isn't going to show for this because his heads are really big. But, you know, you can kind of close it and see if anything shows. But this particular one, it's not because of the heads. But I like the head sticking out. So this is going to be our layer, our base, right? And then we're going to have our ticket next. All right. Just take a quick drink of water here. All right. So this is going to go here. And it is going to come off the edge. Now on this particular one, it went under the lanterns, but it's fine. It doesn't need to. But what I will say is when you are gluing it down, some of this ticket's going to come off the side, so be careful that you don't add your glue too far over the ticket, okay? So it's gonna go something like that. Let's get our glue on our base. Okay. It's gonna go right just like that. And then this is gonna go right there. Perfect. Very, very nice. Easy, right? Very easy. Okay, now the next layer is our tax coupons. And I did cut these because I wanted to be able to layer them like this. So I wanted, if I just did it straight across, this is how it would be. But these were perforated, so I thought, let's cut them in half and get 2 for the price of 1. These are fun. These are in the shop. In fact, let me show you. These are fantastic. I have these in the shop. I can't remember how I'm selling them, but I've got 1 cent and I have 3 cents, and they're authentic vintage. Love these. I was able to find them from a lady in Ohio that found them at a swap meet. It's amazing where you find some of your vintage items. I don't collect too much vintage items anymore just because I have so much. But I might start going and sourcing more items because I miss the scavenger hunt. All right, so there you go. You got your layer. That's pretty much your background, you guys. Now all we need to do is add our pumpkin, right? And you can be strategic about what you want to show. I'm going to put mine right in the middle, right there. My cat is okay. So let me talk to you about the cat. The cat's tail is my turn, so make sure that you have enough glue on the tail and on the body so that way it doesn't bend too much. It should hold, but I'm using the cat as my page turner. Alright, let's add a little bit of walnut stain onto this. Okay. A little bit of glue going on here. And this is a very cute die. This pumpkin, had it for years. Just love it. Alright, so his tail's going to come off just a little bit. But make sure you get, like, you know, some nice glue on that tail up here so that way your tail doesn't break off. So this is what I was talking about, the precision glue. Really perfect for for smaller die cuts. This is a great cat. Fun. Really, really fun. Okay, so let's kind of put him just like that, I guess. Right? Oh my goodness. He does not look happy, does he? And then your ticket can be your page turner as well as your tail. All right, and then the final thing you have is your postage stamp. All right. And that's just going to kind of go off to the side right there. And there's our next page, guys. We are moving right along. All right, so that's page 4, right? So we have our first page. I'm going to pause here. I've been pausing through every page just to see if anybody has any questions, concerns, comments. So here was our first page, of course, the witch. And then our second page with the crystal ball. Use your words, Monica. And then our next page is, again, one of my favorites with the little characters and the poisons. And then our fourth page is our jack-o'-lantern. We are moving along. All right, so if nobody has any questions, let's go on to page 5, shall we? All right, so this is a fun one. This has some great digital images that I've used in the past, I believe. All right. And let's see. Let's find this page. Now remember, keep your scraps, even though you're cutting these, keep these because you can use them for future clusters. All right, so this is a fun page, and the reason I really like this page is I have the pill box for this prescription. I have it in my display of my vintage apothecary bottles, and I put it in my scanner and I scanned it. So you'll never find this out there because this is one of a kind, you guys. Really, really fun. And then the tape I'm using, I have these in the shop. These are tissue tape tickets, which are great for crafting. But those are also in the shop as well. Okay, so let's see what we have. We have our pharmacy label. We have a purple base. We have... Ooh, am I missing my other base? Look at that. I'm missing... See, I'm going to have to send myself an email. I'm missing my base. All right. Never fret. I think I have my Halloween stuff around here somewhere. Let's see. Ta-da! I have my bag of paper where I'm making my kits. So I will just make myself one here. So alright, so there's this one. Let me go ahead and do my corners. When I do my corners, I end up with these little corner pieces all over my room. All over my shirt. Sometimes they go down my shirt too. Alright, so let's see. First of all, let's get the measurement of your page. Your page is 3, well, I'm going to say it's 4. So 4 inches across. And let's do a little tick mark here. Right here, right? So there we go. Okay, so that's about where we're going to be cutting. So our page is going to go this. We've got this purple one here. That's going to go right up to the edge or close to it. And then this, let me see here what I got going on. Yep, this comes over the edge just like that. Okay, we've got our Sleepy Hollow. But I think I'm going to use Witch's Brew on this one. So we're going to shake it up a little bit and use a different label. I like the Witch's Brew. What do you guys think? I think that looks better than the Sleepy Hollow. What do you guys think? You guys like the Witch's Brew better than the Sleepy Hollow? I mean, you can use whatever you want. I just think the Witch's Brew really goes with this one. So yeah, this is going to be another easy layout. You guys, so do you see how easy it is to put these clusters together? Many people are intimidated by clusters, but I don't know. I think they're just so fun and so easy. I just think they're fantastic. I've been wanting to, you guys, let me ask you this. I've been offering or saying that I'm going to make one of these cluster books to show you how to store your clusters. Would you guys be interested in a class like this where you can store your clusters? Because I have a feeling after this class, Hey, Artsy, nice to see you. I have a feeling after this class, we're going to have a lot of cluster makers. They're a little addicting if you don't want to sit down and create, you know, a whole project or a card. You can easily just sit down and craft and create clusters. And I think that's why I like the clusters, because you can still be creative without committing to an entire project. And then you can have a little book. You can have a little book to save your clusters, and then use them at a different time. I mean, especially if you end up, you know, purchasing one of these blank books, you know, you can just dig through your cluster book and create a whole new cluster. In fact, I have a feeling we're going to be making some more of these because I love them. All right. I mean, I can see maybe doing a steampunk one, right? Maybe doing an Easter one. Oh, just so fun. All right. So save your scraps and let's start putting our layers together. So this is going to be a really easy layout, you guys. So remember, don't put any glue at the top. And like I said, I did just put in the shop a whole bunch of Halloween stickers where I think on Monday, I'm not going to commit, but I think on Monday we'll just get together and we'll make Halloween clusters. We won't put a book together. We'll just make more clusters because I've got all those stickers I just added to the shop. And maybe since I'm not going to do a live on Sunday, maybe we'll do it on Monday since I have it off. One thing I mentioned in the beginning of the class is if you've signed up for my Christmas tag book, I decided to put a Halloween one together. I haven't finished my prototype for my Halloween, but it will be similar to the Halloween one, or excuse me, the Christmas one. I have 9 kits out there, guys. I'm going to be scheduling the class this weekend. If you want to do a Halloween tag book, do not delay in ordering your tag kit. Because I swear, I only have 9. I didn't have time to go out and curate new items, so I had to pull from my stash. And I only have 9 of some of the things that I want to include in the kit. So 9 is the number. If you want to create that Halloween tag book, order right away. I'm not kidding, because once it's not going to be like the Christmas one where I'm going to say, oh, I found more items, because one of the items that I'm using is the Tim Holtz package, ephemera package, and I only have 9 of them. I have 11, but one's for my prototype and then one will be for the class. So I have 9 to offer, and when they're gone, they're gone. I just wanted to make a Halloween book. I had someone in town already want to buy my Christmas book, and I said, well, I kind of need it for the class. She's like, well, can you sell it to me after the class? I'm like, well, maybe. We'll see. All right, so let's chit chat, Monica, and more crafting. All right, so I got ahead of myself. We want to trim this. You have 2 of these. You only need 1. So let's trim this, and you're going to put this. See, I got ahead of myself here. This is tissue paper, really, really fun. I love this stuff. And it should go underneath. It should go like right there. Okay. Sorry, guys, I'll pay more attention. Hopefully y'all didn't get ahead of me with this. Okay. All right, we'll give that a second. God, that's awesome. Okay. Looks good. Looks really good. All right, so the next thing we're going to put is the tombstone, right? And I'm just adding vintage photo as I go along. That's just what I do, you guys. Just don't be annoyed with me always adding my vintage photo. You know, it's one of those things where you wake up in the morning, you know, you yawn, you stretch. I cut out my ephemera. I add vintage photo. That's just what I do. I'm sorry. That's what I do. So we've got our tombstone. We need to have our little kitty cat. I fussy cut most of these for you guys. I think I cut, well, after a while, I think maybe I was just putting them into kits. But a lot of fussy cutting on my side for sure. Like I said, I curate these kits by hand. All right, so this particular one, this was higher. I went a little lower on this one. It's not a big deal. I'm going to have my cat. Well, is it a big deal? Do I want it higher? That's too late. This precision craft glue, the Barely Art, that doesn't move. Your 3-in-1 beacon moves. So if you want movement glue, you're going to have to work with the 3-in-1 beacon. We're going to put the cat right there. That's where the cat's going to go. The raven's going to go here. Witch's Brew's going to go down here. So let's get that in place. Too much talking, Monica. Let's see. So if you are in the chat and have not said hello, please say hello. We are a friendly group and we would love to hear from you. Let me see. This is gonna go. So please say hello if you haven't yet. Let us know where you're from. And we would love to say hello to you. Okay, so this is gonna go just a little high. I don't want to cover that delicious phone number. Phone RE4-7485. You know, just simpler times, shorter phone numbers. Sometimes I think I was born in the wrong century. Or not century, the wrong decade. The wrong century. I don't want to go back to the 1800s. No, thank you. But when times were simpler. All right. Witch's Brew. I agree. I think that's a better choice. I like it. Oregon, all right. We see Oregon out there. So, yeah, just call out where y'all are watching from. I would love to see that. I'm going to take a break and read your comments. So, we've got Oregon. I'm in Montana. Tina, you're in Oklahoma. Where else do we have? I know, Robin, you're in Ohio. So, call that out, right? So, no, you're not in Ohio. You're in New York, Robin. I knew that. You're in New York. But, yeah, call out where you're watching from. I would love to see representation. All right, we got our witch going on here. Central New York. Yes, ma'am, I knew that. You know, one of these days, Robin, I'm going to make it out there and I'm going to visit you. So I know I'm not invited, but I'm inviting myself. I'm going to come out and visit you, girl. All right. So there's our witch. Right there. Like it. And then we'll put our robin. Or that's not a robin. That is a crow. North Carolina. Delina's from North Carolina. Love it. And my crow is going to go right. I guess we can go a little bit farther over. Right there. Kind of want him to be on the page though. All right, that looks good. There we go. So yeah, so this particular one was Sleepy Hollow. This is Witch's Brew. And easy, right? So we had our 2 layers on the bottom. And then we had our tissue ticket. We have our digital images. So these are examples of digital images that you can get in the shop. So we talked about the Backstage Pass. You would get these digital images for free. Literally, you just, And it's a membership. It's an annual membership. But you go and you put your coupon code in there and you download. Download to your heart's content. And you become part of a really awesome group. It's just so fun. Love our group. Music Mate. I'm so happy that you are with us. I am glad you're enjoying the class. And this is your first one, so welcome. Everybody say hello to Music Mate. I'm glad you're enjoying the class. Really, really love sharing my ideas. All right, so onward. So let's, again, as I've been doing, it is a layered book. And as you go, so you might, you see your second page here, you turn it, you see your third page here, turn it. Now, while you might not have seen these other pages when the book is closed, when you get to this page, look at, you've got your crow sticking out. You've got, items that are sticking out. So you get to this page here, you see the two pages. So it's a combination of being able to see the layered pages behind each page, which really add to the decoration. What would be fun is if we made a calendar out of these. I just came up with this idea. It'd be fun to be able to switch a calendar every single day. Okay, note to self. Maybe we need to do that. All right, let's move on to the next page. Now, I said I don't do cutesy. I swear I'm not a liar. But this one is a little cutesy, I have to admit. Don't shoot me for being a little cutesy. So she's just too adorable. Again, another digital image. If you signed up for the class, I shared with you a free digital sheet. So that is one of the perks of registering for the classes, because I tend to give away freebies. I like to do that. So if you haven't registered for my other classes, I do have them in the description box. I think I do. If not, I just sent out an email. And yeah, don't forget to sign up for my classes, because we just have a good old time. All right, we're one cutesy Robin, I promise, just one. I don't typically go that way, but anyway, we've got this crow here. Again, I cut all of these. I die cut all of these. I don't know what I was thinking. You got a 31 for the date. You've got an orange tab. Cute little girl. Look at those big eyes. Oh my goodness. So fun. Oh, I ended up with an extra 3 in there. Calendar. Now, you might have to grunge up your calendar a bit. I didn't grunge up everything for you. I have this sander that I just like to sand sometimes, just to grungy it up a little bit. And then, your eyes hurt. I know, right? And then we're going to add some walnut stain. I'm just grunging it up, guys. I'm just adding, I don't like white space. If you've known me, again, if you know me, you know I don't like white. So let's just kind of grunge this up a bit. Let's see. I think that's pretty good. That looks a lot better than it did, didn't it? Yes. Yes, it does, Monica. All right. We will get small corner punches. Small corner. I'm getting a little loopy here if you haven't noticed yet. We're going on an hour. How long have we been going? An hour? Let me check my clock. An hour and 43 minutes. We're moving right along. Getting a little loopy, though. All right. So, I think we're right on schedule. Okay, so this one, let's figure the measurements of your page. Let's see here. 4 and a quarter. All right, that's easy enough, right? 4 and a quarter. Right here. So do your line like we've been doing, guys. It's the glue. It could be, Robin. You're right. That 3-in-1. All right. So we've got orange again. Adding a little bit of walnut stain. I should just have a recording that says add a little bit of walnut stain, because I tend to do that a lot. Let's see. So, see, that's too far over, I think. Let's see. Let's see what we're gonna get going on here. The glue makes me loopy. All right, so this is gonna go here. I'm thinking, no, I kind of want that longer. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Do this. So it's just a layover. So you got your orange, you've got your yellow. You're gonna put your. Make sure you have room for your 31 because that's where your 31. In fact, let's do that right now. Let's put our 31 down. I'm thinking we're gonna need to make a flip calendar. That would be 31 pages though. Whew, that would be a lot of pages. $30, and then where's my 1? I lost my 1. 31. All right, so your 31 is just going to go on the edge just like that. Okay, and then let's see. This will go just somewhere like that. Okay. Let's see, this is going to go like this. Something like that. And then the calendar is going to go... how's the calendar just going to go like that? All right, so I think we have the base. So let's glue it down. And I don't know. So I know I have this over. That's all right. We have a lot of space here. I kind of like some of the pages to show through, to show the catalog cards. I think that's really, really cool. So while you might be thinking, oh, Monica, why are you leaving so much, I don't want to say white space because I don't consider my vintage catalog cards white space. I like, they call it, it creates interest, right? You've always heard people say, oh, a little bit of interest. I just like the way that catalog card looks. So if that's not your jam, if you think you need to cover up more, again, it's your project. I just like part of the catalog card to show through. All right, so we've got the base here. Let's get our calendar down. These calendar cards come from Stampers Anonymous. I have the stamp set. I think I have like the last 6 months of the year. And I've used them often in some of my lives. It's a fantastic stamp set. I highly recommend it. Okay, scary. Let's see what else we can use though. Moonlight, scary, occult. This little guy can go right here. I ended up with an extra 3. Again, small pieces. Ugh, my goodness. And this is going to go right here. Love this raven. Again, a die set that I cut for you. You're welcome. Let's move this guy down a little bit. Okay, that looks wonderful. All right, we are trying to figure out what word to use. It could be a little bit longer. Haunted. Oh, I wonder if trick or treat would fit. I wonder if trick or treat would fit. Let's try that. That would be fun. I think I might be able to cut it down to fit. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, I do have a French Bulldog. His name is Max, and he's snoring in the background. So if you hear snoring, I swear it's not me. It's my little French Bulldog. So apologies, or you're welcome, however you want to take it. So I think we have a new person that just joined. Hello, Dorothy. So I think Trick or Treat will fit. I'll just trim it just a bit, actually. And I think it will work. She kind of looks like she's in costume anyway, right? Getting ready to go trick-or-treating. So let's add this here. And yeah, I think that will work. I believe it will work. Nice. Let me just scooch it over a bit if I can. And then I'm going to see if I can cut these here. Perfect. All right. Okay, so trick or treat. We've got our crow. The only thing left we have is the little girl. Let's stick her right here. I want that October to show, so again, be strategic about how you place your stickers. And there you go. Very, very nice. Another easy page completed. All right, so we've got page 1, we've got page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, and now we're on page 6. So this one, okay, this is a fun one. This one was probably the most, I don't want to say complicated because it wasn't complicated, but it took me the most time to put together because these are die cuts. So let's look at the layout here. So first of all, let's find our page. So you're going to find some of them. You're going to find some of them where the candy is already completed. Some of them where you're going to have to glue it yourself. Mine is not glued. And I will go ahead and do the layout and show you how I did it. So I'm just dumping out all of my items here. This one has a lot of items. So let's kind of take inventory of what we have. So you should have your base, which is this kind of orangey yellow. Just adding my walnut stain, and that's going to be my base. I've got a square that I'm going to glue this on. Some of them I think I glued on. Some of them you might have to glue yourself. I have to trim this one up, so I'll do that. So just like that. And then let me just trim this up really quick here. Just want to have a little bit of a black border on mine. Okay. So we've got our base. Let's see. We've got our little bubblegum advertisement. Your measurement on this one is about 4.5. So if you want to make your little tick mark at 4.5. So this is a larger one. Okay. This is a vintage merchandise coupon. These are great. These came out of a vintage coupon book. These are available in the shop, you guys, if you want the whole set. These are authentic vintage merchandise store coupon books. So yeah, just a great fun vintage item. And then let's see, what else do we have here? So we've got, this is gonna go on top of this. So let's do that. Just like that. And then you're gonna have this little stamp here, 425. That's gonna go on that tab that we just glued. Okay. So just kind of prepping some of these items here. This is gonna go here. Okay. Are we clipping the corners? On this particular one, Melody, I did not clip the corners. If you want to clip your corners, by all means, clip your corners. I did not, because I just wanted this to be squared off of the actual image. Again, personal preference, but do what you want to do. Let's see. That's crooked. Oh, well. Okay, so I just trimmed my catalog cards, and we are trimming those corners. And I'm adding my walnut stain again to my edges because I'm Monica and that's what I do. All right, I think we're ready to go. Oh no, we're not. We need to put a little candy together. So shout out to Lourdes. She sent me this die last year and it is fantastic. We're going to be doing a live with the eyeball out of this die because it's so fun. It's so fun. And we're going to be doing a optometrist Halloween card. So thank you, Lourdes, for this wonderful die that you sent me. It's awesome. Okay, so there is the yellow and the white. I'm adding my walnut stain to the edging. If you already have your little candy corn put together, you can add the the walnut stain or vintage photo, whatever you want, to the edges after the fact. See how easy it goes together though? I don't know why I have extra stuff in here. Okay, this is gonna go bottom here. Oops. Okay. Small pieces. Okay, this is where you curse me out, you guys. What are you doing to us, Monica? And then finally, I might need to get up and stretch here a minute. All right. And then this piece goes right here. You can't see it on camera, but the die does have embedded, embedded, I guess, where you can see where the pieces go. I'm not sure. Embedded impressions. Yeah. All right. So if your kit did not have your candy corn put together, apologies. But that is part of the fun. All right. Let's put our little pin in our glue so it doesn't dry out. Oh my goodness. Can't even see. Okay, there we go. And let's glue down our orange piece. It's going to go down just about right there. Okay. Maybe a little higher. And then this is going to go almost all the way over. So you want to make sure you have enough room for your merchandise ticket. Your 4 for 25 cents sticks over the top, so don't put glue on that part. But, you know, just kind of be aware of that. All right, so there, excuse me, there's your base. All right, now we're going to put our, what are we going to put? We're going to put our ticket on this. I guess I don't need to use that one. I feel like I'm in an operating room. 3-in-1 beacon. Here it is. Okay, nurse, please hand me the barely art. Here you go, doc. Looks like I'm in an operating room and I'm being asked to, you know, for my certain items. All right. So there's that one. And then, hey, Rhonda. Well, welcome. You will be able to catch it on the replay. No worries. I think we're on page 6 or 7 now. Melody, what page are we on? Do you remember? All right. So this 31 is going to go somewhere around here. Let's try to keep those little kids showing. They're kind of cute. We're going to put a little label here. Teach Max to hand me stuff. Yes, he could be my assistant. That would be fun, wouldn't it? All right. So this is our candy corn going right over. I know some of you guys are like flinching by using actual vintage items, but these are keepsakes, you guys. I mean, a lot of these little books, page 6, yes ma'am. A lot of these little books we end up keeping for keepsakes or giving away as gifts. So don't stress too much about using your vintage items. Okay, so this one says boo. Let me see what else I've got here. Happy Halloween. Well, that would be too long, I think. Happy Halloween. Haunted Ghost, Witchcrafts. I guess we'll stick with boo. Now this particular one I am going to mat onto the cardboard because it is sticking off a little bit and I want it to have some stability. Okay, so let's see if I can find my cardboard. Little piece left. All right. We're going to glue this to the cardboard. And then we're going to cut it. So let me just glue that down a minute. Give it a second to dry. And for the cardboard, you can use... I use cereal boxes. I hoard cereal boxes. And then I use the cardboard for my backing if I want it to have a little bit more structure. So you can easily do that. Pasta boxes, anything like that. All right. So see, even though this page is really busy, it came together fairly easy. So I'm going to, I guess I can show you what I'm doing here. I'm going to cut this now. There we go. And then I think I ended up making it a little smaller. Okay. And that's my boo. That's my boo. Sounds funny. All right. Just like that. There you go. Page 6. All right. We have, let's see, we've been going a little over 2 hours. We've only got 4 more pages to go. But they're going to go together really easily. The next few are pretty simple to go together. This one, I think, had the most items. This one is like the first page, but it's a good one. I love it. All right. These are digital items again. So just another example of digital items that you'd be able to download from the shop. These are examples. I don't know if I specifically have... Oh, I do have this kit, actually. I just put together... in the shop, if you're a Backstage Pass owner, holder, you got it for free, part of my membership. These were my most recent items I added to the shop, digitals. So you could easily incorporate some of these. So if you were a Backstage Pass holder, you would be able to download these as part of your membership. It's a pretty awesome deal. I would encourage you, I know if you don't, want to spend the money, check it out. It might be something you do in the future, maybe. But I'm offering 10% off for new members. So if you are thinking about joining the membership, now would be a great time, because you'd be able to use my coupon code and get 10% off, which is a great deal. All right, so easy layout, right? So this is going to just go right on top. I guess I should probably tell you what my measurement is. This is a longer one, so this one is 5. So just measure out 5. Well, it's a little. It's got to be a little less than 5. No, it's 5. I wonder if maybe I didn't cut anything off of this one. Yeah, I don't think I cut anything off of this one, you guys. So don't cut anything off of this page. And just do your corners. Add your walnut stain like we've been doing, right? And then simple. You have this on this one here. I put it behind it originally, but I think this one, I'm going to put it on top. I like it better on top of the black behind rather than behind. And again, when I did the prototype, that's how I did it. But I am going to put this one on top of the black. I think it looks better. And this is one of those ones that's going to show through also. All right. So going into your sticker kit, you're going to want to find the claw and the spider web. I don't know if we had 2 spider webs. I hope so. But anyway, so these are the 2 items we're going to use. Or whatever items you want to use, you guys. I mean, again, these are your books. Use whatever you want. For the spider web and the claw, I did fussy cut. So take a minute to fussy cut them. I am concentrating. If any of you guys would see me on camera fussy cutting, you'd think, oh my goodness, she is so serious. Lots of concentration. But yeah, there we go. See how fun that is? That's going to go right on top of your label. These are stamps from the Tim Holtz collection. They are an old set that have the labels. One of my favorite, one of the ones that is used so much, definitely got my money's worth and highly recommend it. That's why I love Stampers Anonymous, because they do not retire their stamps, so you can enjoy them over and over again. Wonderful. Alright, I got glue boogers on my sticker. Alright, there's that one. And then, of course, the hand. Again, I'm fussy cutting these stickers. These don't have to be fussy cut. If you're one of those people that says, you know what, Monica, you're crazy, I'm not going to fussy cut that. Just peel it and stick it. I like the fussy cut because I don't want the noise of the stamp in the background. I just want it to look like an image. So that's why I chose to do that. But again, don't stress yourself out. If it's too much stress to fussy cut, don't fussy cut. I get it. I get it. All right, so this is just going to go right here. Oh my God, I love that. How fun that is. It's all in the details. All right. We got a little creeper going on here. What do you guys think of this little creeper? She's funny, isn't she? Love her. I have some of these stickers. I think I have one set left in the shop. They went fast. So if you guys aren't familiar with my shop, I am not one of those big retail shops. I'm a very small shop. When I have items, I typically have like 10. I buy from a wholesaler to be able to use in my lives. And then, you know, I'm one of those people where sometimes if I see someone make something, I want to make the same thing. So I decided stocking my shop with items that I craft with. But I don't have a big shop. I can't afford to, you know, put out the money to stock it with 50 of the same items. So some of the items that I have and I share, they sell out fast because they don't have a lot. So I apologize for that. I just can't look at that. I just don't have the means to be able to stock the shop with, you know, lots of inventory. So the shop is what enables me to continue to give you free classes. Because I can buy the product and, you know, my time, of course. And the Backstage Pass helps me support the website. So that's why I have a shop, and that's why I have the Backstage Pass, is so it doesn't cost me to be able to provide content for you guys. So I hope that makes sense. You know, if you enjoy my content, I would certainly appreciate you supporting the shop, as it does help me to continue to give you content on YouTube. So thank you for all of you guys that do support me. There are many of you out there. Robin and Lords, and if I'm forgetting anybody, I apologize. Melody, you are a big supporter of me. Thank you, thank you. For all of your support. I truly do appreciate it. All right, and then we have the bat. Let's see if we can find the bat. All right, so here is the bat. Again, these are part of your kit, and I'm just fussy cutting these. One of my goals is, you know, like I said to you, I do work full time, but I'm hoping once I retire, I'll be able to provide more content and more inspiration for everyone. All right. Ooh, that's a small one. That's a little bat there. Look at that little bat. Oh my goodness. But it's all about the details, right? Okay. I said this was an easy page, but I forgot all the fussy cutting we have to do. These little details are what make the pages. Okay, come on, Monica. There we go. And we're just going to put this little bat up here in the tree. This is another one of my favorite pages, you guys. Look how cute that is. Comes together very easy. Any questions on page 7? We've got 8, 9. No, I think that was 8 actually. That's page 8. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, that's page 8. And see how she pops up? Oh, fun. All right. Any questions about page 8 or any of the prior pages? We are in the home stretch, you guys. Home stretch. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know you guys are still out there. You're not snoozing on me. You are still hanging with me. Give me some thumbs up, guys. Let me know you're still out there. Did we lose everybody? Hey, Rena. Welcome, welcome. Oh, Gina. I don't have my glasses on. Jeannie. Still here, Delina. Awesome, awesome. All right, just want to make sure y'all are still there. We are on page 8. Let's see. Ooh, oh, okay, I lied. This is a more complicated one. It was probably one of the most time-consuming one to put together. So you're welcome. All these little pieces I had to do. Oh my goodness. All right. Page 9. You've got an embossed... I just spit out my cough drop. Excuse me. Keely, good to see you're still there. Okay, you've got your embossed back strip. You've got some spider webs going on here. You've got a vintage slide. You've got these poison bottles. Did I forget the Fright Night? Oh my goodness. Thank you for calling me out. I did. Look at that. Okay. Let's back up a minute here. I forgot my Fright Night. But let's not lose our pieces. Fright Night. Thank you. Thanks for keeping me honest. And I do like that, Fright Night. I do like that wording, so we're going to keep that one. Got ahead of myself. I'm glad you guys are paying attention. See, that was a test to see if you guys were paying attention. So, Artsy Chick, you get the gold star. Alright, so let's get our Fright Night on. Gold star for Artsy Chick. Alright, so this is going to go right here. I think I'm going to trim it a little bit more, though. Make it a little smaller. And we're going to glue it right to the page. You have to have the label. I mean, it really just kind of make it, right? There we go. Fright Night. There we go. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Magic. All right. This one, y'all, is a shorter page. It is 4. I might make it a little longer. We'll see. We're going to tick it at 4. And then we're going to make a decision. I kind of want this a little longer. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, I kind of want to see how it plays well with the other ones. So you have this strip, and it is, how big is it? 3 inches. So trim it how you want it, I guess. Little girl was not a sticker. The ones I have in my shop are stickers, but the little girls were digitals. So let me just, okay, so this is going to be, I think I'll use this last part of, let's see, the last part of the alphabet. So I'm going to trim mine about right there. And then small corner punch here. These were cut from an embossing folder. Another one, very tedious task, and adding to the kit, so you're welcome. And let me see. Yeah, I guess I'll cut it just a little bit. Let me think. No, I'll cut it right on that line, I guess. And then do our corners. These pieces are just popping all over. And then add your walnut stain or whatever you know, distress ink you're using. Okay. And then let's just put it together. All right, so this is gonna go about right here. Okay, so in this one, look at, I have it a little bit shorter. I don't remember how I cut them in your kit, but if you want it shorter, just trim it. It's fine. I'm going to keep mine larger, though, because I want mine to kind of take over the page. So I want it to just kind of, you know, be a spider page. Okay, so the next thing we're going to put is our little embossed strip, and you want it off the edge a little bit. Okay, this is, see, I've already lost my poison. There we go. This is going to go here at the edge, so if you want to, you can put these. I was just so afraid I was going to lose pieces when I went back to that second page, or that 7th page. All right, let's figure this out. This little purple guy, these were a pain in the butt to cut up because they're so small. I had to cut them with the die machine, and then I put them together, and oh my goodness. So that will go like that. This is going to go off the edge, so I should probably glue this. Oh, I did glue it down. Okay. Okay, so this, I keep saying okay. Okay. This is going to go off the edge, just like that. Is everybody good? You following me? Kind of talking in circles here. All right. Running a bit behind. No problem, Lourdes. You will be able to catch up on the replay. So I've got my strip. I've got my spider page. I added my little purple poison bottle. This guy is going to be off of the edge. So just be aware when you're adding your glue, you guys. Don't add the glue past the body part. Okay, because that's going to be, even that might be too much. So just, yeah. Just kind of be aware of how much it's hanging over. Just like that. So here's something I learned. So on my first one, the top part of the bottle was actually off. When you glue this down, put part of that bottle on the base. It will just make it a little bit more stable. When you're turning this, you don't have anything really supporting this top part. So I would recommend you know, just make sure part of that is on the base. You'll be happier. The structure of the book will just be a little bit more firmer when you're turning that page. So just something I learned. All right, let's get our vintage slide. Love these. So these are authentic vintage slides. They are available in the shop. We probably will be doing a live with these and making some Christmas ornaments because they're so fun to work with. Just cut off the edge. I don't know what those are called, but you're going to add those and you're going to add them just on the edge, okay? Just like that. Now some of your glue might come through, you know, the slots, but don't sweat it. No big deal. All right, now here's where you gotta kind of be strategic. You are going to want to put the second one not all the way up. I don't know if you can see that, but not all the way down either. So just kind of guesstimate, I guess, as to where you're gonna start. And then just, doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, I want this to be, I say it doesn't have to be perfect, and then I'm like, I want it to be like this. But you want it how you want it, right? All right. There we go. Perfect. Oops. Maybe not perfect. All right, let's, I can see why Tim Holtz stands when he does his classes, because, whew, I'm going to need to stretch here in a second. In fact, I'm going to stand up just 1 second and stretch. Ugh. I'm still here. I'm just doing a little stretch. All right. I did, okay, so yeah, what I did, Delina, is I pushed out the slide, right? And then I cut the edges. And then that way it kind of looks like you've got the decoration on the slide on the sides here. So that's what I did. I hope that makes sense. And then I'm going to glue this down. And it's going to go just somewhere right here. All right. And then, let's see. We're going to add our third poison bottle. And it's going to go right here. All right. Good. That looks good, you guys. Okay, the last thing we need to do is to add our label. And let's see. So I put magic on this one, but let's see what else I have. I have, wouldn't that be fun? So I have it here, so it can't be potions, elixirs, and serums. Deadly potion. Ooh, I love that. Excuse me. Witchcraft. I like deadly potions. Let's do that one. Magic would work also. I don't know if I have magic in this one. As you can see, the font is a little different. When I made my prototype, I used different labels that are in my personal stash. So you may not have every single one, but you definitely have deadly potions. So let's trim this down a bit and see if we can get it to fit. That rhymes. Let's trim it down a bit and see if we can get it to fit. All right, Monica. Yeah, perfect. Look at that. Let's trim it down a bit and see if we can get it to fit. All right, all right. Again, the glue is making me loopy. All right, deadly potions. Deadly potions. I like it. All right, you guys, another successful page. So we are down to our last page. Ugh, so beautiful. All right, we are down to our last page, y'all. And this one is very simple. I got a rectangular base. Would you recommend vertical or horizontal? So this one, let's see. I think it works better horizontal, Lourdes. But depending on how thick it would work. I mean, you really have to eyeball it. So just eyeball it, see what looks good to you. Horizontal will definitely work. You will just have more of the background showing of the catalog card, which is still a win. I think it's still a win. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Lourdes. I mean, that's why we're using the vintage catalog cards, because that background is fantastic. All right, last page is our witch. Now this one I did not cut any of the page. It is the base, so I just trimmed these. And Lourdes, did I answer your question? Did I help you? All right. So this has a witch hazel base, right? And then we have the black cats. Ooh, ha, 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 black cats. We've got this witchy poo. We've got, what else do we got here? We got a vintage bus ticket. These are actual vintage tickets, guys. And we've got a tag, and we've got a digital vintage pharmacy label. All right, so this is another very simple page. It's the last one. So as we finish up, if anybody has any final questions, I will get on camera at the end of the class, and I will be happy to answer any questions about anything you would like. And then we'll wrap up. So I will not be doing a, whoops, ahead of myself. I won't be doing a live tomorrow. It is the sheep drive here in town. So I will be attending that. And I will be putting together my Halloween tag book prototype. Alright, so that's going to go something like that, I guess. Okay, that looks good. All right, easy enough, right? The ticket is going to go, ooh, the ticket's going to actually go underneath here, guys. So we need to add some glue. Got ahead of myself again. Add some glue to above or below the perforated part, and it's going to go right under this. So hopefully you don't have glue that made you commit. I think that will work. Here we go. All right, that was a save. Okay, very good. Yeah, that will work. Okay. And then we're gonna need the wicked, or whatever word you want. Witch would be good. Do I have a wicked, creepy, wicked witch? Ooh, that will not fit. Haunted, witchcraft, creepy. witchcraft. Haunted. Oh, black cat would be good too. Scary. Well, I have witch. Let's just do witch. How's that? So this is going to go directly on that top part of that ticket. And let's see. Right there. Perfect. Nice. Ah, that looks awesome. Don't you just love it? Oh my God, this is... I'm kind of tooting my own horn here, but this is such a fun project, you guys. And you can do these with any ephemera. Like I said, I went ahead and I created just plain books and I put them out in the shop for you guys. And all the stickers that I have, just so fun, so fun. So you can have any theme. It doesn't have to be Halloween. We are having the Christmas cluster flip book coming in a couple of weeks. I hope you all signed up for that. And that's going to be a lot of fun. It will be kind of the same. Not kind of. It will be a cluster book just like we did here. But the theme, of course, will be Christmas. And it'll be a little different. It's not going to be exactly the same thing. We're going to do a few different things. And then, of course, I have my tag book coming up. All right. That's going to go right there. Maybe slip this one over a little more. That's why I love my glue that moves. Yeah. Nice. And you know what? If you wanted to put something here, you could. I mean, I didn't in the book, but let's maybe put something there. Let's see. I had potions. Wicked. Moon, black cat. Haunted. Scary. Here comes Halloween. Hocus pocus. I mean, you could put something. Wicked witch, ghost, potions. I mean, we can. Yeah, let's just put something there. I mean, you don't have to. I think I'm going to. Moon. No, we'll just leave it. We'll just leave it. Maybe I'll add something different. All right. So that's it, you guys. Let's do a quick run through of what we created today. So fun. So fun. All right. So here's the book closed. As you can see, all the layers are coming through, and that's the fun thing about this project is you get to enjoy the layers behind the pages. So we've got our first page here, which is the witch and the ticket and the October 31st. Your second page was your spooky vibes with your skeleton and books, and of course your okay, Melody, send me an email if you don't have something, and I will make it right for you. So this was the second page. So anybody, like I said at the beginning of the video, if there was something I missed, I curate these kits by hand. If there was something I missed, I apologize. Just send me an email and I will get it out to you ASAP. Second page was the author page and the wording here. You've got your skeletons. You got your crystal ball. Then you have your paper dolls with your vintage poison labels. And of course we have the words that we put throughout the pages. You've got your pumpkin with your cat, your vintage tickets, and then you have your witch with the brew, and of course this wonderful label that was from my personal stash. And Then, of course, we have to have one cute page, right? The little girl, the October calendar. Okay, Melody, anything that I'm missing, I can't do anything on the actual live, so I apologize. Just send me an email, and I'll make it right for you. I promise you. And then I've got the page with the chewing gum and the merchandise stores. 4 for 25 cents. I've got the candy corn, the Halloween ticket. And then this is the girl with the stickers, the Halloween haunted house. And then, of course, you have the transparency, the slide with your potion bottles. You've got that ticket that we put there. Oh, that's on the other page. See how the layers work? You know, you think it's part of the page, but it's not. And then the witch, and then the witch hazel, and yeah, pretty much that's it. So that completes the class. Let me go ahead and see if I can all right, everybody, so that is it. So yeah, Melody, you were throwing me off a little bit when I was showing the book. So the saltpeter and the witch, what else did you say I missed? Let's see. All right, they're digital, so I will send those to you digitally, Melody, so you will have them. So the witch is a digital, the orange label is digital, and I think that's all you said. I don't have the witch or the witch hazel, and the witch hazel is digital as well, so I'll get those to you. All right, so yeah, you were throwing me off when I was going through the book, so I'm sorry if I sounded rude. I didn't mean to. You were just throwing me off a little bit. So yeah, so that's the book, and I hope you enjoyed the class. I had a lot of fun creating it. It is definitely fun to create, and just something that you can, put on your desktop. Like I said, every page can be the start of your page. It doesn't have to necessarily be the order that I made it in. But yeah, just a lot of fun. So it's a great way to showcase your clusters, and just have a lot of fun. So the next class that we're going to be doing is the Christmas cluster book. It is, I've shared it several times. I'm going off screen here, sorry guys. And it's similar, but it's different, right? So it will have different items. This one has like a pocket, real fun little pocket. So yeah, the Christmas cluster class is in a couple of weeks. The book is available for pre-sale. I will be shutting down pre-sale soon, because once we get closer to the class, I can't guarantee that I will have it available for the class. And of course, I want to, if you order it, I want to make sure you have it available for the class if that's what you want. If you haven't signed up for the class, definitely sign up. The sign-ups are free. You don't have to order the kit. And then if you sign up for the class, of course, I typically give you a freebie. That's just what I do. And then finally, we'll have the one I'm really looking forward to, the tag class. This is going to be great fun. We are making this with vintage bases. And then as a bonus, I decided to add a Halloween one. So this is the base. We've got toe tags and rejected items. We've got an evidence tag in here, I think. So yeah, this one will be a lot of fun. I'm still in the process of curating the kit. I have 9 of them. 9 people, 9. And then that's it. But of course, once I put that Christmas one together, I thought I have to put a Halloween one together. It's too fun. So we're going to be adding items like these to that kit. So these are page. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be different. So yeah, that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions for me about anything? On Sundays, I do afternoon crafting. I do live crafting, not tomorrow, but I think I'll go live on Monday for you guys. Anything you guys have questions for me, the Backstage Pass will have a 10% discount all weekend. So if you're considering becoming a Backstage Pass member, this weekend is a great weekend to do it because you're going to get 10% off. And then of course I added tons of Halloween stuff to the shop. So check out the shop. Like I said, that's how I kind of support that's how I support the website, was just through the items I sell through the shop, and of course my Backstage Pass membership. The tag class, I can't remember, Artsy Chick. I have it on my website. If anybody knows, go ahead and put that date in the chat. I just don't remember offhand. I think it's like in a month. And then I want to get that Halloween one in there soon. I've already got the kits. I just gotta put the project together. But I've got 9 of them. So if you want it, and if you trust me on my designs, grab a kit. It will be loads of fun. All right. Just wish I didn't feel so cluttered. So cluttered? I don't understand the question. I don't understand the comment, Melody, but I'm sorry. So yeah. So if nobody has any questions, we'll go ahead and we will end 15 minutes early. So let's see. Thank you so much. I enjoyed my visit with you, and I'm working on my cards. I do a lot of cards for the troops and birthdays. Fantastic. Good. Yeah, that's definitely a good way to share your cards for the troops. Absolutely. And I'm glad you popped in and visited with us. And yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and we'll leave it at that. So everybody, if you're gonna catch the replay, if you do want a kit, you can order a Halloween kit. I'll have them up probably a couple weeks before Halloween. But yeah, you can order them. I curate them by hand. So I have lots of ways to, or lots of ability to be able to give you kits on the Halloween cluster book. And you're welcome. Can't wait to finish the book. Yeah, it's a really fun book, Rhonda. I hope you enjoy putting it together. And thanks for spending your afternoon with me. I really appreciate it. All right, everybody, 80% done, Lord, is fantastic. If you're part of the Backstage Pass, I would love to see your finished books. So take pictures and put them out there. And we will see you later. All right, bye, everybody.